This week, for Beacon Web News, May Craig interviews Jennifer Macksey about her mayoral election win. Sarah Choi catches the action at MCLA's women's basketball game, and Sarah Tomzik asks MCLA students about their Thanksgiving traditions. That's all coming up next on Beacon Web News. Episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Carisha Graham. The English and Communications Department will have their Visiting Writer in Residence series today at 7 p.m. in Murdoch 218. This year's Writer in Residence is fiction writer and poet Joanna Howard. Howard is an assistant professor of literary arts at University of Denver and author of the book Rerun Era. Both Berkshire Towers and the townhouses will remain open during Thanksgiving break from Wednesday, November 24th through Sunday, November 28th. You will not need to ask for a special permission to stay in your room on campus. The Centennial Room will not be open during Thanksgiving break due to lower staffing levels in the resident areas, and overnight guests will not be allowed. For students who are staying on campus for Thanksgiving break, the food pantry will be providing to-go Thanksgiving boxes with food items to prepare a meal. You can order up until Sunday, November 21st and pick them up Wednesday, November 24th. MCLA's Fashion Club will explore Greek mythology, astrology, and the dedication to women's history and sexual assault awareness for their 2021 Fall Runway collection. The show will be held on December 3rd in the first floor hallway in Bowman at 7 p.m. On Tuesday, November 2nd, Jennifer Macksey made history and was elected first female mayor of North Adams. Beacon Political News correspondent Natalia Giacomazzi and Beacon Web News reporters May Craig and Sarah Choi interviewed Jennifer Macksey and talked about her reactions to her historic win and what new policies she is going to implement when in office.
It was so surreal. You work so hard on the campaign trail, you anticipate and you try to be confident, but until you hear those numbers, I was overwhelmed with excitement and certainly honored to represent the community.
Jennifer Macksey's first 100 Days infrastructure plan involves addressing its aging water and sewer systems and decaying roads and sidewalks, as well as renovating the Mohawk Theater, which she hopes will attract more employees and tourists into the area.
I'm already having conversations this week with Mayor Bernard to start working on a transition process. Public safety is number one. And then my plan within the first 100 days is to have a short-term and long-term capital outlay plan for infrastructure.
The first initiative that Jennifer Macksey plans on tackling when in office will be evaluating the North Adams Public Safety Building. And her plan within the first 100 days is to have a long-term outlook plan on infrastructure.
What I hope for the city is that I can bring people together to collaborate. Ideas just can't come out of City Hall. Ideas need to come from people like you, the college students, the citizens, the businesses, and even the people who travel through our community. So what I hope to bring to the city is a leadership style that puts us on the right trajectory to take us to the next level. And when I say take us to the next level, to start building a foundation for economic development, for start building a foundation for some social emotional support, to start working on those big issues of infrastructure and public safety.
Jennifer Macksey's goal as mayor is to work within the best interests of the community. Macksey believes that listening to the community's ideas will change the trajectory of the city.
I feel that our infrastructure has been neglected. We've been more reactive than responsive. What my hope is to do a full evaluation with the Commissioner of Public Services. We're going to start on one end of North Adams and we're going to go to the other end. It's a combination of things, but we need to lay out what are our worst streets, how can we fix them, what funding do we have available, and develop a plan.
MCLA's campus food pantry will be open and unlocked while the campus center building is open. Students can pick up food items, toiletries, and personal items between the hours of 7 a.m. to midnight. The food pantry is located in room 206 on the second floor in the campus center. As Thanksgiving break is just around the corner, Sarah Tomzik interviews our MCLA student body and asks them about their Thanksgiving traditions.
Thanksgiving break is around the corner, which means students are going back home for break. I, Sarah Tomzik, go around campus asking students about their Thanksgiving traditions.
The students I had interviewed were all going home for the break. For some students, they will finally get the chance to have a normal Thanksgiving since last year. Some students explained how last year's Thanksgiving was affected by COVID-19.
Yeah, it definitely affected it last year just because, like, my Mimi couldn't come. She lives in, like, an assisted living, so they were very, like, closed off. They couldn't have anybody else, like, leave the facility, so she couldn't come. And then, like, my cousins usually come and a couple other grandparents come and stuff, so we couldn't really go anywhere or they couldn't come to us, so it was very, like, lonely.
Probably my most unusual Thanksgiving dinner was probably last year, just because like not everybody could come because I have a lot of family that's like out of state and stuff, so unfortunately like they couldn't make it due to like COVID restrictions and guidelines and stuff.
Like family members couldn't come. It was just pared down, you can't go out, nothing, so it definitely affected that.
But not all students were affected by COVID-19. Jillian Courier was one of those students, as she explains how COVID didn't affect her Thanksgiving.
My grandparents were some of the first people that were like available to get vaccinated, so they got theirs really early. But we, since like my whole family has been wearing masks like the entire time, like we thought that it was safe enough to go over, and it was just the 5 of us like it always is. So
students expect to have more of a normal Thanksgiving because of the release of the COVID vaccination. Some students elaborate on their regular plans.
For Thanksgiving, we usually we'll stay up really late the night before, so usually till like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, just like kind of watching movies. And then we get like the biggest turkey we can find, and we put the turkey in, and it cooks all night while we're sleeping, and even like through most of the morning.
So usually like the night before like Thanksgiving, we sit around and we watch like the Peanuts Thanksgiving movie. And then like the next day, my brother and I like to break apart the wishbone, so that way we have like a wish for Thanksgiving, as we like to call it.
What students are excited for is finally getting away from college and being in the comfort of their own homes.
Getting out of the basement of the townhouses.
Probably just seeing family, most of all. I mean, I don't really get to see them a lot during the semester, especially being a fall athlete, so it's nice to be able to go home.
Even though students love being at home, they can only stay for so long, as some students explain.
I want to be home, but not home, if that makes sense.
I love like spending time with my parents for like the first 5 days, and then like the last 2 I get kind of sick of it, and I'm like, I want to go back to school.
And of course, I had to ask what everyone's favorite Thanksgiving dish was. Surprisingly, there was a dessert that was pretty popular among the students.
Pumpkin pie for sure. Pumpkin pie with some Cool Whip on top, but then also a slice of apple pie with ice cream on it right next to it, because the best of both worlds.
I am definitely looking forward to a nice big home-cooked meal. I love my mom's food, and I love her pies and desserts, and I go to my dad's house and have more pie, so definitely all the food.
Hopefully you learn more about our students' Thanksgiving traditions, and have a great Thanksgiving break. From Beacon Web News, this is Sarah Tomzik.
Upon returning back from Thanksgiving break, all students will be required to test all week of November 29th. Testing hours will run Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Old Fitness Center. Reminders and additional information will be sent the week of November 29th. The North Adams Airport Advisory Panel had its first inaugural meeting this week. The panel went over a portion of the new draft rules, regulations, and fee structures. The panel also talked about having the airport manager enforce rules, decide the proper use of the airport, and make regulations more applicable. On Veterans Day, North Adams held a ceremony at the Veterans Memorial honor all veterans. Many people spoke about Veterans Day, such as keynote speaker Chief Warrant Officer John Crossier about Mayor Thomas Bernard. The Veterans Day celebration started in Pittsfield with a parade and then finished at the Veterans Memorial in North Adams. The Northern Berkshire Shore Community Coalition will host the Neighbor Lives, an event where community members celebrate other members who have made a positive impact. The event will occur on Wednesday, November 17th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at MCLA's Church Street Center. On Tuesday, November 16th, MCLA's women's basketball had their first home game of the season against Keene State University. Beacon reporter Sarah Troy and executive producer May Craig talk about the members of the team about their thoughts on the game and their upcoming season.
Hi, I'm Sarah here with the Beacon Web News. I'm here with Shannon Carney from the women's basketball team. In what ways does this year look different from previous years?
I think that this year we definitely have a way more positive outlook. Got good reinforcement on the sidelines from coach and our teammates. It's definitely a rebuilding year. Working on getting the new girls, acclimated and whatnot, but we're definitely rebuilding and excited to get back out there.
So I think the biggest improvement has been our camaraderie and our teamwork. I think that we're really starting to play together and execute on the defensive and offensive end.
I think the team's goal this year is really just to go out there and have fun. It's definitely a rebuilding year with our new coach, so just kind of getting the hang of everything.
I'm excited to get back out there and just have some fun, play basketball, win some games, prove some people wrong, because I think that we can. So that's what I'm really excited for.
I'd say this year we're definitely more of a family. We're really all together, even off the court. We're always hanging out. So I think just overall we're more excited to play together. And
since October 15th, we've definitely started working together again. Like us returners had about almost 2 years not playing together. So it was definitely weird for us to get back. I think that's our biggest thing, getting the chemistry back together and figuring out how to play with one another.
It's great to be back. I haven't played in a long time, so it's awesome to get back out there with all my friends.
Playing tonight was awesome. I've been thinking about this since October 15th, and we haven't had any home games yet, so tonight was really exciting. It felt good to be back out here.
We definitely play a lot better together. After today's game, we really noticed that we're playing more as a team rather than individual.
Our goals right now is just to improve every game, make sure that we are being as competitive as we possibly can be, and making sure that everyone out here is enjoying themselves while playing basketball. First home game was great. It's good to see people back in the stands cheering us on, and we love playing at home.
For Beacon Web News, I'm Sarah Troy.
The Williamstown Fire Department is currently working on a new design for the station. On Friday, November 12th, the fire department received a $400,000 grant in support of their new station design. The Commonwealth program funded the district in the first round of the Rural and Small Town Development Fund grants. On Saturday, November 13th, the American Legion Post in North Adams and Adams Boat received $2,500 each from the Adams Fall Run Committee. On November 38th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., the MCLA advancement team will be handing out treats to celebrate Giving Tuesday, the global generosity movement. This event will take place in the Campus Center Marketplace. Now from the Beacon. MCLA's second theatrical production of the fall semester, Mr. Burns, a post-electric play, will be playing from Friday, December 3rd at 8 p.m. to Sunday, December 5th at 2 p.m. Mr. Burns is a wacky hodgepodge of pop culture icons and most apolitical visions wrapped up in a musical at the end. The Beacon Editorial makes a call for a more user-friendly MCLA website that helps students and prospective students find what they need quickly. MCLA student and North Adams native Josh Valeries was elected to the North Adams School Committee during the November 2nd election. Valeries will be a member of the committee that deals with the legislation with K through 12 public schools. That's it for this week. To stay up to date with BWN, you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MCLABWN. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.